what is different about Absolutely Ascot in relation to a lot of these reality shows? And the difference is these guys are gypsies, right? So I'm looking at this, and this trail is exactly the same as I would see for a lot of these glamour programmes, whether it's on MTV, American TV, ITVBe, wherever it is. But, Samson, has this really caused a wee bit of a controversy then?
Yes, it definitely has. I mean, this show itself has been in talks with producers for nearly 2 years. We've been building personal relationships, and at first, it's not like other shows where people have put themselves out there to want to go on the TV and want to be filmed. We were approached and asked if we can have an insight into our life and what it really is like to be a gypsy.
And is that because, Ellie, the community had reservations about how you might be portrayed or what the stereotypes are
I think
facing
Ascot,
the travelling community?
Ascot as well is there's different judgments of people in Ascot. You've got the older generation, I mean, then you've got the younger generation, and I just don't think people really understand what actually goes on.
Well, there has been a petition started, hasn't there? An online petition from people, some people, I should say, who live in Ascot and say they feel that the show doesn't represent Ascot at all, in their opinion.
I think a lot of the people that are saying that are probably an older age as well, so they don't know what represents, obviously, the younger side. We're all going out in Ascot. We've always have. I've always been part of the social hub.
We've always associated in Ascot. We've always mixed in Ascot. It's where we all meet up for drinks, meet our friends.
Do any of you live in Ascot?
Yes.
I live in Ascot. I've lived in Ascot for 6 years. I went to school in Ascot. You know, the community's great as well, but...
Let's talk...
Ellie, this is great, because I want a bit of an insight here into who you guys are, what you do for a living, for instance. Now, first of all, do you travel?
No.
Now, you laugh at that, Samson. Why do you laugh at that?
Because it's just the normal thing people have associated with travellers and gypsies, you would assume, because it's in the title.
Can I ask you the difference? So, you say travellers, you've used the word gypsies, so how do you like to be referred to? And if you don't travel, do you mind
gypsies or travellers?
Community?
Gypsies originally, if you're a Romani gypsy, you've originated from India, and that's your background you're from. Travellers are more Irish people who have come across from Ireland into various other parts of the world. We're gypsies, but what your stereotype or what anyone would think a gypsy is, it's not necessarily the case. You're probably surrounded by gypsies every single day, and you'd never even know it.
Well, look, I'm a bit sad we're talking about this, because I see 3 young, glamorous people, and I really want to know who you're going out with, what job you have, you know, what are you after, whatever.
Definitely single. Definitely single.
Yes.
All single.
And at the end of the day, do we buy into this the way we buy into TOWIE, for instance?
It's not like TOWIE.
No.
What you see on our screens, it's
real.
It's not scripted.
What you see is what you get. Everything that's happened on there has been my real life. I've not been... Nothing of this is scripted. Whatever has happened at the time has actually happened.
When we film, we turn up, we put the
well.
mics on, the cameras start rolling, and away we go. Like, it's not like, oh, we need to say this, we need to talk about this. It's just, let's go.
And what are you hoping, the 3 of you, that people take away from this? Because you said, you know, you were approached, you have some reservations about how your community will be portrayed, what people think about you. What are you hoping that
I just want to break stereotypes. I mean, I think the whole reason behind petitions and that's occurring, it's not because of the area, not because we're from there. It's because people don't want to be associated with gypsies or travellers. They think that it's going to put a down light on their area, and it's modern-day racism that's happening every day.
You know, Samson,
and it doesn't get... Sorry to interrupt. It doesn't get no publicity. It really doesn't. People don't want to talk about it.
It's interesting you're talking about that, because, you know, there we just started off with that story with Delcy on board, and you think, surely racism like that does not exist. There it was, recorded, fact. It does in this day and age. So what do you guys face?
We face a torrent of it every single day of our lives in adult life, and the worst thing about it, Eamonn, is it's so socially acceptable to call someone a pikey in the high street, to write it on the internet. Nothing is ever talked about.
It's like the first thing they grabbed as well, is like you just said, it's mixed between Made in Chelsea and My Big Fat Gypsy Wedding. Well, that's the first thing they've grabbed. Well, realistically, we're a bunch of normal people. There is gypsies and non-gypsies on this. So why straight away has it been mixed with Made in Chelsea and My Big Fat Gypsy Wedding? Straight away, that's what they go for. And realistically, we're all normal people. This is real life, and
we've got normal jobs. We go to work. Like we're not like our you would pursue us to
What do you do? What?
I work for the local council.
Yeah.
So I work on the dustbins, I do waste collection, I do a weighbridge operative, I drive machines. I'm a normal, everyday fella.
What about you, Ellie? Do you work?
Yeah, so I went to school, I'd done my GCSEs, went to college, and I do hairdressing now as well, so that's quite
I'm the
normal.
complete opposite to that. I went to school, I come out at...
You're a right handful, you are, by the signs of it.
I come out at 10 and I was homeschooled because I wasn't not allowed to associate with non-travellers, but it was sort of my thing to be brought up around my sisters, which were gypsies, my family's was gypsies. So really it was like, well, no, you're our little girl, we'll look after you.
Well, do you know what? You've got me hooked. You got me
That's
very, very
it's a
interested with
fascinating
this.
insight to your young, you know, your young lives, that you're very close to your families. That's part of your culture, isn't it?
I think family's a big deal.
I would say one thing, that if you haven't watched the show and you were interested and want to know what real gypsies are or want to see something, this is the best
definitely
insight
see 'em
you
in
are
the
going to
best
get.
light.
OK.
Well, you can see it then
She's
at
not a pineapple and I'm not a palm tree.
10 o'clock on Sunday nights. That's on ITVBe, OK? 10 o'clock on Sunday nights.
Thank you all.
Lovely
Good to
meeting
meet
you.
you.
Thank you
And,
for
you know,
having
as
us
the show grows in popularity, we hope we'll have you back and we'll talk
Yes,
more,
lovely.
guys.
Love to.
Thank you.